Okay, hello guys, how are you? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. This week I wanted to talk about film ratings. The MPAA, or the IFCO, or, God, what's it called in Britain? BFRB, for something like that. Anyway, a week ago, my friend and I went to go see 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Fantastic movie. When we got there were signs everywhere that said an ID must be shown to see films rated 16 and 18. And it was at this point that my friend, who looks like she's 15, realized that she did not have her ID on her, and she was worried that we would have to walk back. She always forgets her ID. Always. So Taya, if you're watching this, remember your ID next time. So we ended up getting into the theater no problem. At the beginning of the movie, if you don't know, in Ireland, when you go to see a movie, they show their rating at the beginning of the film. It ended up not being 16 or 18, but 15A. Because if you've seen 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, that is the longest fucking title in the world. Jesus. If you've seen that movie, you know that it deserves its R rating that it got in the US. But that inspired me to think of some other movies that I think were rated poorly. So I scoured the internet, and I scoured my own brain and memory to find 5 movies from around the world that were rated very poorly.
Number 5, It. It was an interesting film. One could easily argue that it wasn't really a horror film at all, but a thriller or even a drama. Regardless, it was certainly a disturbing film for young children and had some eerily dark themes that, I believe, certainly warranted a higher rating. The IFCO's reasoning for the rating was that there was no drug use, but that seems weak to me. To me, it seems a lot like the IFCO really wanted to get this big movie a 16 to increase the box office intake from horror film hungry teens. I have no evidence of this, the rating just seems surprisingly low to me. Number 4, Boyhood. Guys, we have to give Boyhood a rating. Do we have to watch it? It's so long. Let's just pick a rating for it. Yeah, you're right. But which rating should we go with? Let's go with R, just in case there's something objectionable. Yeah, well, there wasn't anything objectionable. Like, at all, really. Boyhood should have received maybe a PG-13? Maybe, if we're being very conservative. But R? There's one scene in which some young boys read some lingerie magazines, but that one short scene shouldn't be enough to throw it over the edge. Number 3, Ender's Game. Come on, America, this is the second time in a row you've rated your films just wrong. Ender's Game was a pretty poor science fiction film and all, especially for those of us who were really excited for it. However, I recently watched it again, probably on a plane or something, and I realized something. It was still really bad. But I also realized there's literally no reason whatsoever for this movie to get the PG-13 rating. I mean, it's clearly not G, but a PG would have been just fine. I'm honestly not sure what earned this film a 13, besides the studio's desire to get it. Number 2, 50 Shades of Grey. What? Like, what? Come on. Is there anything more quintessentially French than giving a BDSM movie a minimum entrance age of 12? You do realize what this means, right? French preteens could legally walk into a movie with full frontal nudity alone. I mean, Europe, but still. In Singapore, you had to be 21 to see that movie. What were the French filmmakers thinking with this one? Well, you see, every child has seen a bosom in their life, so, you know, a 12-year-old shall find nothing objectionable with this, how you say, butt plugs? That's my terrible French accent. Number 1, The King's Speech. The King's Speech was a great film, it really was, but it didn't deserve its R rating. Sure, I get it, you're only allowed to say fuck so many times before you get an R rating by default. But this is literally the only reason it got its rating.
Shit, 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 yes, shit! Fuck. Fuck! 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 Fucking fuck! Fuck! Fucking bugger! 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 Buggity! 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 Fuck! Fuck! Arse! Willy! Shit and fuck and shit.
The word fuck in and of itself should not be enough for a movie to get an R rating. I've said fuck so many times in this video. Should this video be rated R? Well, I did mention butt plugs, so maybe.
So, what did we learn today, kids? Did we learn that America needs to stop rating their movies so high just for kicks? Did we learn that a French 12-year-old is more sexually mature than a Singaporean 20-year-old? Or did we learn nothing? Because you weren't really watching this video, you were just kind of scrolling through Facebook. Well, whatever the case, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, everything I have to tell you to do at the end of the video to get the subs. If you look down at the sub thing, I need the subs, like.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handle for both is @WhitWikiBrooks, and you can add me on Snapchat, stuff12346, and I will see you next week. Adios. So, what did we learn today, kids? Did we learn that America needs to